D-Lo for boxing. Hey, I want to go ahead and get this one in right quick. I'm just leaving work and thought about it. I had it on my mind. Go ahead and get this one in. All right, y'all. So, now it's Mikey Garcia coming off of that win over Jesse Vargas. You know what I'm saying? Some feel like Jesse won. Some feel like Mikey won, but officially Mikey got the win. He got that knockdown that really helped his case. And now he's calling for the likes of Manny Pacquiao, Terrence Crawford, and even a rematch with Errol Spence Jr. I'm going to talk about all of these things separately, but on this video, I want to talk about Terrence Crawford and Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia is a guy who has had more than one opportunity to say that he wants to fight Terrence Crawford. And I mean, that's going back to when they were at probably even 35, maybe below, but 35, now I say 35, 40, and at 47, by the time Bud went to 47, Mikey was with PBC. But one thing about this whole situation is Bob Arum has a history of not wanting to give guys who left him paydays. Yes, when he thinks his guy can beat him, he don't mind making the fights, but he's not trying to be fair in negotiations. Now, I've seen that with Guillermo Rigondeaux. I've seen that with Yuriorkis Gamboa. I've seen that with Vic Darchinyan, Floyd Mayweather Jr. I mean, a plethora of guys who left Top Rank and went on to do their own thing or went on to another promotional outfit. Mikey Garcia just got paid what's being reported to be in excess of $7 million to go over there and fight on the zone. If that's factual or anywhere close to that, then of course he's gonna want a king's ransom to fight Terrence Crawford if he just made over $7 million fighting Jesse Vargas. Terrence Crawford, in my opinion, is not a fight that Mikey Garcia wants. I think even him fighting Errol Spence Jr. when he did was more appealing to him than Terrence Bud Crawford, because with Errol Spence Jr. there were so many built-in reasons for him to lose that fight. So it was a high-risk fight, high reward, but if he lost, he didn't really lose anything as far as his status or as far as his prestige or whatever you want to call it as far as his career goes. And y'all heard all the excuses that were made when he lost the fight. I mean, I was one of those people who clearly said I didn't even want to see that fight. I knew what the outcome was going to be going in. I mean, as far as who was going to win the fight, there was not any intrigue or any mischief or, I mean, you know what I'm saying, not mischief, but any curiosity as to who was going to win that fight. So I really wasn't interested in it. But that said, we got the fight. We saw what happened. Mikey beat Jesse Vargas. Now he's beating his chest like he's one of the top guys at welterweight. Mikey still has a lot to prove at 147. If Mikey wants to fight guys like Bud Crawford, and he really means it, then he's going to have to make some concessions to make those fights. I know there are people who think that Top Rank needs to just invest heavy into paying guys to fight Bud. But the reality is, Mikey got overpaid to go to the zone by pretty much by his own admission, by Eddie Hearn's admission, and by Top Rank's admission. Eddie Hearn and the zone made an investment to try to court Mikey to stand on the zone. Eddie even talks about it in a post-fight presser that, he wants to keep Mikey on the zone or at least get him to come back for another fight. So of course they paid him handsomely. That said, Top Ranks and ESPN are not going to pay Mikey like that in hopes that he comes to ESPN. They know Mikey's not the type of draw that's going to garner them the kind of return on their investment that they want. Also, beating Mikey Garcia is not going to catapult Terrence Crawford's earning potential or his drawing power or anything else. It's a fight that, I'll go ahead and say it right now, going in, if they make that fight, I fully expect Terrence Crawford to beat Mikey Garcia with very little resistance. Do I expect him to stop him? That's something to think about, but honestly, I just see him beat Mikey fairly easily, regardless of what's happened in other fights. I just don't see it being a very competitive fight. But that said, that's all I'm gonna say on the subject. I'm gonna go ahead and move on. D-Lo 404 Boxing. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'd like to know what your thoughts are. I'm out. Peace.